Welcome to this explainer. Today I am your personal PTE teacher and we are going to solve a massive problem together. Picture this. You're sitting at your exam computer. A reading passage pops up. 4 blanks. All the options look exactly the same. You feel that stress rising, so you guess. Sound familiar? Well, today the guessing stops. You absolutely do not need perfect vocabulary to get a high score. You just need to know the hidden grammar patterns. Let's fix this right now, once and for all. Here's our roadmap for today's class. We'll tackle the fill in the blanks problem, go over a word types cheat sheet, dive into essential verb and noun rules, look at adjectives, adverbs, and prepositions, master matching subjects and verbs, and finally do some real practice together. We are going to keep things incredibly simple. Section 1. The fill in the blanks problem. Staring at 4 similar words and guessing. Look, do not panic. Guessing is literally your worst enemy here. It's exactly why so many students fail by just a few points. Instead of agonizing over the meaning of a tricky word, you need to look at the grammar rule around the blank. These rules repeat in every single PTE exam. Once you know the patterns, you don't even need to understand every single word in the paragraph. You just follow the rule, find the answer, and move on. Section 2. The word types cheat sheet. Before we learn the rules, we need the basic building blocks. Let's start with a gerund. Now, what actually is that? It's simply the ing form of an action, but it's used as a thing, a noun. For example, swimming is fun. Normally, swimming is an action, right? But here, swimming is the main subject. It's acting as a noun. Keep this in the back of your mind because ing words are incredibly common in the reading test, and they love to try and trick you by acting like nouns instead of verbs. I highly recommend taking a quick screenshot of this cheat sheet. In the exam, the clock is ticking. You don't have time to stress. Just look at the end of the word. Does it end in tion or mnt? Boom, it's a noun. Does it end in ly, like rapidly? It's an adverb. Does it end in at? It's a verb. Memorizing these simple endings is a total game changer for saving precious time. When you know exactly what type of word you're looking at, you can instantly eliminate the wrong options. Section 3. Essential verb and noun rules. Alright, let's dive into exactly how verbs and nouns behave, because this is where the real magic happens. Rule number 1. If you see the word to right before a blank or a modal word like can, will, or must, you absolutely must choose the first form of the verb, the simplest base form. Notice the common mistake here. Students often say, I am going to playing. Actually, scratch that. Never use ing or ed after to. It is always to play. The exact same goes for modals. Climate change could causing is a trap. It's could cause. First form only. Think about how easy this is. If the blank comes right after will, just find the base verb and you're done. Moving on to our next vital rule. Whenever you spot have, has, or had right before a blank, you need to look for that ed ending. You need the third form of the verb. This also applies to words like was, were, is, are, be, and been. A super common mistake is using the base verb here. Students will choose have discovered. That's incorrect. It must be have discovered. Lock this rule in your mind right now. Has, have, had, or be verbs equal the ed form. So if you see the law was the next word, needs an ed. The law was passed. Nouns follow strict rules too. First off, after a or an, you must use a singular noun. Never a plural noun with an s. You write a survey. Absolutely never. Of surveys. Next up is perhaps the most heavily tested rule in the entire PTE exam. So listen closely. If you see the word the, then a blank, then the word of, that blank is almost always a noun. The adoption of renewable energy. Whenever you see a gap wedged directly between the and of, go hunting for a noun. Finally, after ownership words like my, his, or our, you must use a noun. You would never say our running, you say our house. Section 4. Adjectives, adverbs, and prepositions. Let's look at describing words and connecting words. An adjective describes a noun, right? Well, if a blank is squeezed right between an article like a or the and a noun, it's always going to be an adjective. Take the phrase a blank improvement. Improvement is the noun. What kind of improvement? A significant improvement. Significant is the adjective. Also, words like very, more, or extremely right before a blank are almost always followed by an adjective. If a sentence says the process became more blank, look for a describing word like more efficient. Now, an adverb, which usually ends in ly, describes an action. It slots perfectly between a helper verb and a main verb. Consider this phrase, has blank transformed. Has is the helper verb. Transformed is the main action verb. So, what goes in the middle? An adverb. Has significantly transformed. If you see this helper and main verb sandwich in the exam, do not guess. Just hunt for the ly word to fill that gap. Prepositions are those tiny connecting words like in, of, for, by, and about. After these or after the word despite, never use the first form of a verb. Always choose a noun or an ing word. For example, interest in exploring, never interest in explore. Also, you've got to watch for natural pairs, what we call collocations. Some words are just married to each other in English. We always say depending on, we always say resulting in. If two options mean exactly the same thing, let the preposition choose the answer for you. It's an incredibly powerful shortcut. Section 5. Matching subjects and verbs. Please pay very close attention to this next part because this is where most students lose points. The rule here is simple. Opposites attract. If your subject doing the action is plural and has an S, the verb will not have an S. Notice the example. The boys play. Boys has an S. Play does not. But if the subject is singular and has no S, the verb gets the S. The boy plays. Boy has no S. Plays gets the S. Opposites attract. This is a brilliant and easy way to eliminate at least two wrong answers immediately. But whatever you do not fall for the classic PTE trap. The exam loves to put plural words right next to the blank just to trick you. Read the sentence. The expansion of man areas blank. Students will see areas right next to the blank. Areas is plural, so they immediately pick a verb without an S. That is wrong. You have to find the true subject. What is the sentence actually about? We are talking about the expansion. Expansion is singular. Therefore, opposites attract. The verb must have an S. Always take a second to find the true subject. Next up, if you see the word and or the word or, the grammar form before the word must perfectly mirror the grammar form after it. Think of it like a set of weighing scales. If you have a plural noun before and, you must have a plural noun after and. There are boys and girls in the class. You would never say boys and girl. If you have an ing word before and, you absolutely need an ing word after it. You have to keep the balance perfect. Section 6. Let's practice together. Alright, we have the rules. Now let's apply them to a real PTE exam scenario. When you practice, simply follow these three straightforward steps to find the correct answer without guessing. Step 1. Do not read the whole paragraph. You will just waste time and get confused. Just look at the word exactly before the blank. Step 2. Identify which of our grammar rules applies. And step 3. Pick the matching word type from your options. Let's do it together. Let's read this sentence together. The government has recently blank a new policy designed to blank the blank of. Okay, stop guessing right now. Look closely at the grammar clues around those blanks. Blank 1 has the word has. Blank 2 has the word to. And blank 3 is trapped perfectly between the and of. Now watch how incredibly fast we solve this. We saw has. Rule 3 says has demands an adverb, so the answer is introduced. We saw to. Rule 1 says to needs a base verb. The answer is reduce. Finally, a blank between the and of simply must be a noun. The answer is effect. Look at that. We found 3 correct answers in about 10 seconds without even caring about the deep meaning of the paragraph. That is the sheer power of knowing these patterns. Okay, now it's your turn. Try this one out. The blank of new technologies in healthcare blank a range of ethical questions. Use the exact rules we just learned. Blank 1 is squeezed nicely between the and of. And for blank 2, what is the true subject doing the action? Take a quick second to think about it. Got it? Well, for the first blank, the and of require a noun, so the answer is introduction. For the second blank, the true subject is introduction, not technologies. Introduction is singular, so remember, opposites attract. The verb needs an S. The answer is raises. It really is that simple. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know the hidden code of the English language, what is your PTE reading score going to be when you finally stop guessing and start knowing? Apply these rules in your next mock test and just watch your score soar.